New bike day. This is a YT Izzo. I've never ordered a direct to consumer brand before, so I've no idea what to expect. So let's open it and see. Welcome to the family. We got the box, all well packed. That's the water bottle. Me first. So we've got manuals, tools. This is kind of sweet. Look at this. Manuals, tools, and technical. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. Let's get the rest of this out. Top box. Got the tools. And we've got the bike. And that is it. The wheels seem well packed. And the bike seems well packed. Man, that feels light. E13 XC XR carbon rims with E13 Optimus tyres. Two wheels. For the next part I might get my bike stand out. Crank spacers for the pedals. Anything new in here? Nope, empty box. Ooh, I have to say it's cold in here. It's currently about 3 degrees outside and my garage is not heated. Lots of padding. So at this point I should probably be reading the manual, but let's take a quick look at what I've got so far. Yeah, my garage is kind of messy in the background. It's kind of amazing seeing a fresh new bike for the first time in 8 years. So this is the Launch Edition. This has Axis, SRAM Axis components. But enough of that, let's look at the instructions now. See what we've got. Okay, some manuals. We'll get into this. There we go. Ah, I love that they don't attach the dork disc. Safety first. Yeah, who's going to read that? Information about E13's wheelset. More E13 wheelset information. SRAM components. A manual on a quick release. Okay. Care and feeding of E13 carbon components. Apparently you have to feed them. Okay. Axis quick start user guide. SRAM, Fox owner's manual, more care and feeding. Aha. Read the flipping manual. Is it flipping? Okay, setting up the stem. Read first. The read first manual is at the bottom of all the manuals. Okay. Do I really need to read this? Bike check. Let's see. How to unpack and do stuff. Okay, well, let's take a look at the components. Well, the tools we got. tools. Stickers, everybody loves stickers if you're 20 years old. Toolbox, and this is all stuck in. So the one tool they don't give you are the clippers to get the tools out. Ha. That's one wrench. Okay, that's cool. It has Newton meters torque wrench. Cool. And a shock pump. I won't actually be using this one. I have a Fox digital pump. I'll use that one. But I guess that's useful if you don't have one. And that's the tools. Right, and lastly, we've got the technical. Aha. This being Sram Eagle. I have the charger and 2 batteries, one for the rear mech and one for the dropper post. Charger, and that's the cable. A lock shock handle, so this is for the reverb. And some little bits, I've got no idea what these are for. No idea. And some pedals, which we won't be using. So I just came back from warming up inside the house because it's cold here. And I actually read the manual. And apparently I'm doing things in the wrong order. Some of the boxes that hold the bike, such as the box on the forks and the frame. But oh well, we can make do without that. So first thing first, I need to install the stem. So I need a T25 torque. Cumbersome to use. It's nice that it's all in one, but does kind of get a little in the way, the handle. So we've got an E13 stem. It's a 0 gap for this one at the top. The angle placement yet? We'll do that when we get the wheels on. I put those on the wrong way around. Okay, I did that wrong. You can see there's a shape into this. This one should be on that side, that one that side. Let's do this again. Now I didn't read it in the manual, but we've got some carbon anti-slip paste in with the tools. We might put some on that when we're done. So that's the handle and a bar. I need to swap my brakes. I ride motor style. Interesting, they got padding on the left side of the bike, but not the right. That's where it matched up with the wheels inside the box. I'll say that's really nice how it's so easy to swap these brakes. Cabling's a bit long. Next on the list, handlebar done, not torqued up yet. I'm going to save that to the end. Now we do the rear. Right, what do I need for this? Wow, this is beefy. There we go. Funny thing is, this is the scariest thing I've done on the bike so far. Putting the derailleur on. It's like a $800 derailleur, and it's like, oh, what if I mess it up? $700, whatever. There we go. Torque to 11 Newton meters. And this thing goes up to 10. Okay, Mr. YT, you're telling me to torque it to 11, but you only give me a torque range that goes to 10. Oh, 10 is what it will have to be. I'm sure that'll be fine. Wow, that is one heck of a rear derailleur. That thing's a beast. Okay, that's the rear derailleur. Now the wheels. This will be interesting. So this comes with a 1050 500% range cassette, but I've got a replacement for that. But I'm going to put on the E13 Helix R on here instead, which has, it's 2-piece cassette, and this is a 9 to 50. So this gives a 556% range, which should be great because I didn't like the range reduction with my XT. That was 10 to 51, so that's 510. This is only 500. Their new 1052, which gives you an even bigger granny gear, but it's essentially a bailout gear, is 520. But this one, I believe, has a much more usable range. The times when I want to drop into the 9, it's not going to be very often, but when I do, I really want it. So this is going to go on, but it's not going on today. I'm going to remove the spacer. Quite a warped rotor on this. That's annoying. Apparently that's a common problem, so I'll reach out to E13 tomorrow. Wow, there's a lot of slack chain there. Might have to take a couple of links out. And now the front, so we'll lose this spacer as well. And also take off the cover that they've got on the quick release. Been a long time since I had a quick release. That's actually useful, because I kind of need one now in the van. I never used to take my front wheel off before, but these days I do. Yeah, those handlebars are in the wrong place. Let's see what else there is to do. Put air pressure in the fork. Adjust things. Okay, we need to adjust things. Let me adjust the handlebars first, because that's in totally the wrong place. Nice. Now I'm throwing things at the bike and trying to break it already. I actually really like this torque wrench. This is something I could keep in my pack quite easily. It's really light and actually works pretty well. So I can't get the seat up at the moment because it has no battery in it. If that sticker comes off, that's really ugly. Sticker gone. No, don't rest it against the metal, not just yet. Yeah, it's going to fall off. Stay still. Ah! Ah! Okay, I can abuse the bike now while riding it. It's had its first crash. Oops. Right. It's a bicycle. What have I forgotten? I've got no pedals. I need to put the bottle cage on. Work the brakes. Okay, this was a warning to say the front brake was mounted on the left. Well, that's no longer my bike. The brake is now mounted on the right. Okay, let's go back to the instructions. Let's see, it's been a while since I had to deal with air pressure. My Tallboy LT has the coil shocking it, so I don't have to worry about that. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with that bike going forward. Can't keep both. I might strip the parts down and save the parts for later, thinking about putting it on a Canfield Nimble 9 and have a rowdy hardtail with a 140mm coil front shock. But we'll see. Or perhaps I'll sell the whole bike as is. But the question is, who would buy a bike with a crack in the head tube? It's kind of the reason why I was like, decided not to ride it anymore. So I've attached the bike to the bike stand this time so it doesn't fall over while I do the shocks, because I don't know if you can see it here where it fell over. I totally put a big ding in the carbon fibre in the top tube, as well as scraping up the side. So that's a real shit. Yeah, so things you don't get with a $6,000 bike that has Axis you get less frame protection than you do with the bikes that cost $9,000. But I guess that means you could ride this bike, totally abuse it, then after a few years, assuming your components are still good, replace the frame with something newer of the same style and you're still kind of winning out. I don't know, perhaps that's a stupid idea. I'm just a little bummed at the moment that I've already dinged the bike and I haven't even ridden it yet. I'm still waiting for the batteries to charge for the Axis before I can even move the dropper post and figure out how all that works. But the bike is basically built. I think it's going to need some tuning up. I think the rotors are a little warped, which appears to be common with this style of bike. And we'll go from there. Okay, so the bike is built up and I put it on the scale. This is the weight of a large YT Izzo. 28 pounds, 2 ounces. I did shave about a gram off the bike by taking a big chip out of the top tube when it fell over. Yeah, and anyway, it's here. The Axis works. I had to do absolutely no gear setup at all. That's my build, an unboxing of the YT Izzo. This is my next bike for, I don't know, how many years? And it's going to be goodbye to the Tallboy LT, which I absolutely love this bike, but it was beginning to show its age in its climbing ability. It is somewhat burly. YT should be a lot faster on the more cross-country trails I'm going to be heading for when I move to the Midwest, and it should still have enough rowdiness to allow it to play pretty well in the mountains when I come back for those travels as well. 28 pounds, not too bad considering. Although honestly, my Tallboy used to be sub 28 pounds when I first got it. In its absolute lightest configuration, it was like 27 something. But now it's about 32 pounds with pedals. It's gained a lot of weight in its more burly configuration. Coil sprung Fox 36 and DPX2 and stuff like that add a lot of weight. So looking forward to trying out this one. It's obviously going to add probably a pound to it by the time I put pedals on, and probably end up with beefier tyres, although going tubeless will save some weight there. I'm expecting this one to be about 29 pounds kitted out, and then we'll have water bottles and rubbish like that on it. YT Izzo, stay around. It's probably going to be a while before I post some videos riding with it. I've got a severe backlog and I'm packing up this house, getting ready to move this summer. So I've been exceedingly busy and I've got a lot of videos still to come from what I did last summer. Crested Butte, places like that, all over the place. Anyway, stay tuned. See you on the trail someday.